Hi friends, SuNN here. Welcome to another Wildcard Wednesday video on my YouTube channel and blog. For today's project, I am featuring actually quite a bit of products, but I'm starting out with the Window Wishes bundle, as well as the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder. I got some blends there, pumpkin pie. I have white, pigment ink, mango melody ink, daffodil delight ink. I have a dauber. I got lots of stuff. So I am starting off with the smallest stamp. This happens to be the flame of the candle. Stamp that in mango melody, and this is daffodil delight, and I'm stamping the candles. And I'm using my pumpkin pie light and dark blends markers. And I'm using the bullet tip just to get right in there and color the bottom part of the flame. All right, so this is my cut and emboss machine. I have basic white where I centered that window on it. I have black cardstock, basic black cardstock, and I'm cutting the window frame from it. And then before I went all crazy, I'm going to also die cut this little piece of, this is early espresso card. So once everything is correctly aligned on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I will run everything through. This is the big embossing machine. I use the small one all the time. I wouldn't dare to put 4 dies in the small one. This is what's so great about the big one. One pass and I have all my die cutting done. So you can see how I cut out the window. And then I have the candles and the flame. I have my little early espresso shelf, and I have a black frame here. All right, so this is smoky slate, and that's the card base. And I'm using the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder. So I think this one is the old embossing folder. I had to sort of jig up my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to make this work. So this was, when I say an old one, when we used to have the Big Shot, and now we have this one, and some things are slightly different. So I just make it work. And now I'm going to cut the window frame out of the embossed card base. I wanted to center that, and I'm always going to put my washi tape on the part that's going to get cut out. So the negative part. Or is that positive? I don't know. The part that I'm not going to use. All right, so because this is intricate, I'm not going to use dry adhesive. I'm going to use the green glue, we call it. It is Tombow Mono Adhesive. So, and you can see how easy that was to line up. I just eyeballed that. And now I'm going to put some more Tombow glue. I'm going to go around that white frame. And then I'm even going to do a little zhuzhing just right around the windowsill. And just a fine line, you don't need a lot. So now I'm going to take that card base and I'm going to put it right over top of that beautiful window. So nice colors. If I was to own a chateau, it most likely would be smoky slate. And I would have black windows with white window panes. But let's dream, shall we? All right, so this is my candles. I'm putting them together, and I will put adhesive on the back of them. So I chose a piece of designer series paper from the Tea Boutique, and this reminded me of wallpaper. So I'm thinking, so that you're basically on the outside of the house looking in. So I overshot my basic white there, so I just trimmed a little bit of that off. You didn't see that. I just cut it out of the video. All right, so here's my wallpaper that is framed with a mat of Designer Series paper. And when I close the window of my castle, you can look inside. And what shall you see but some candles floating strangely on a wallpaper. So I did take a very small amount of dimensional adhesive, and I'm just measuring here from the window, and then I'm putting that shelf on so that my candles aren't floating. So I closed the window and put it on because I want the window to operate freely. So here I'm measuring, and then I'm just going to go with my scissors and trim off the very ends so it doesn't get caught on the window. I want you guys to know that I do have an online class with window wishes, this bundle. I've come up with some really cool ideas. Please, if you're at all interested in this new stamp bundle, go to my blog. There's links in the description, and you can look at what I'm offering for this online class. All right, so here is the sentiment, and I'm cutting it apart. So I want it to say Christmas joy. And I did stamp in 2 different colors just because I wasn't 100% sure if I should go with Smoky Slate or Daffodil Delight. And I chose Daffodil Delight because that seemed more joyous. So I cut out Christmas and joy. I put dimensional adhesive along the back, and I'm centering the joy right under the Christmas. So now, and of course I use my take your pick tool to situate because sometimes my fingers are too big. So now I have, this is the pigment ink and a dauber, and I'm just very lightly going around some of the bricks because this is a castle, right? So I wanted to make it look lighter and darker. And I even decided to go and put Wink of Stella on the window. I don't know what, the black part of the window. And I had a little whoopsie. Too much sparkle came out. So I did wipe it up, and it actually looks worse in the photos than it does in real life because the light picks up the sparkle. So it seems like I've got sparkle all over my card, but we're not there yet. So I'm warning you ahead of time that I make mistakes too. And this was a Wink of Stella disaster. Wasn't really, actually, you don't really notice it too much. I did manage to save it, but I thought I would keep it in the video so everyone could have a good laugh. Laugh with me, not at me, okay? So the white pigment ink is, it takes a while to dry. So yeah, I just let this pigment, I'm daubing on such a little amount around the edges and stuff. I felt that it really added to sort of like that brick and mortar embossing folder. So here it is where I just squeezed it. You see, I squeezed it, and then right there, bloop, and then accident. So I tried to spread it, but it was being absorbed too much. So there was just a little too much sparkle. So I had a baby wipe handy. I'll never forget shopping with one of my guy friends, and I had to grab some baby wipes from the baby section. And they looked at me and went, wow, I just never expected you to buy something like that. Everything is for crafting. It's not for wiping babies' bums. It is for crafting. Anyway, so you can see what I did there. I did use a baby wipe, and I managed to wipe off some of the black, but it just makes it look like an old castle. So anyway, you can see all the supplies I used today listed below in the video See More section or in the supplies section of my blog. And those fast links are going to take you to my Canadian online store, where I would love the chance to meet you and earn your business. Thank you so much for watching, and